Hey, what's up? Welcome to another Coffee with AJ live stream. Yeah, I just realized I don't need my headphones on. I also realized as I was doing my setup, I was like, why isn't my mic working? And I realized I'm pretty sure I've been recording with this mic the whole time on my camera. So I don't even need this mic. But I wasn't certain, so I kept it here just in case. But yeah, so I need to figure that out. Um, but yeah, getting ready for the day, drinking some coffee, and preparing for some metal making. Because I got one song that is basically done, just needs mixed and everything, and then it's gonna be up for release next Friday. And I'll hopefully get another song done before the week is over. Because still got the weekend, and my family's gonna be gone all weekend, so I'll be able to get some more stuff done. Anybody joining in the live, feel free to leave a comment. Just hanging out, drinking some coffee. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about some metal or some fantasy. Big fantasy nerd, if you're not familiar with me. Normally, I'm just drinking my own black coffee. Well, I don't drink it necessarily black. Sometimes I'll put like a sweetener, like some honey or something, and it's a little bit half-half. But usually I just drink it black. But this is like a local shop coffee um, that I got yesterday, and just warmed it up. Coffee microwave. Really good. Usually if I go to like any local place, I do a little bit fancier than just black coffee because that's what I normally drink. So I usually do like a macchiato or something. But that might be different depending on where you go. Apparently it is because different shops I've gone to, it's like when I say caramel macchiato, they're like you just want a straight shot of espresso or the coffee or something like that. And I'm like, no. But some places are like that apparently. But yep, I need to get a pot going because I'm gonna like want more after this probably. Especially on the days where I'm doing like a lot of mixing and mastering and I'm not like doing a lot of writing with guitar, then I drink more coffee. Anybody joining in the live, feel free to leave a comment. I do these to chat with you. So try to get to know people better. We're joining in. I got notes here of questions people have sent me to go over. But anyone who's joining in, feel free to leave a comment or ask a question or whatever. I got a question here. Um, can you describe your creative process when writing metal songs? Um, Sometimes it's different. Um, Most times, the main thing I usually do whenever I'm writing a song is the guitars and the drums first. I don't play the drums myself. That's something I want to do in the future. Like I want to get a drum set and learn, but it's just not something I have time for yet. So I use um, drum programs. I use Easy Drummer, but usually I'll start off like if I got an idea, and I have a bunch of drum presets basically. And I use MIDI drums. The Easy Drummer is like it has a bunch of preset drums with it, but you can also buy stuff. you can buy MIDI drum patterns and stuff like that that you can build drum tracks with. So it makes it like it's such a like cool time to live in that we can have things like that, and I can still make music even though I'm solo artist. But usually that's the main thing I do. Pull up my drums and my guitar stuff. I usually just use an amp plugin. My guitar, not an amp plugin, a guitar plugin because it has more than an amp. But I have a bunch of stuff already like preset. So literally, I have FL Studio and I have a preset where I just like go to my presets and it's like the basic drum and guitar preset that I've like made, and I open that up and that has everything preset for me. So just with drums and guitar, that's where I usually start with my songwriting process. And if I have an idea for a riff, I'll find a drum track that kind of fits with it, and I'll kind of change some things, or I'll just build my own completely my own drum track with the with the MIDI programming, depending on like what my idea is and what I'm thinking. And other times I'll find like I'll just kind of browse through the different drum beats I have, and find one I like, and then I'll write a riff to go with it. Sometimes, like I said, I'll customize some things, but I have a lot of preset stuff, so that it just makes it a lot more efficient to get a song going. And sometimes I'll go through the entire drum track and build it, and I'll like have an idea of like, okay, I'll kind of put this riff here, this riff there, put a chorus here or whatever, and then finish off the drum track, and then I'll go and like add the guitars. Other times I'm kind of like building a song, building the drum track as I'm writing it, like I'm writing the riffs. So that's kind of like the basic basics of it, of how I write. And then usually after that, then I go and add like, well, again, it depends on like the day, like if I have ideas, but usually after I've written the rhythm guitar, then I go back and add lead guitar parts. Other times I'll have like lead guitar ideas first, and then I'll write those and then add the rhythms. But just kind of depends on the song, but that's the main thing is just drums and guitar. I usually get that done first and go from there. Write lyrics, do the vocals. Then I add like all the symphonic elements that I like to add. There's I have a lot of different like plugins like strings, orchestral stuff, whatever. I even have like some of these different plugins um, that are kind of based around different cultures in the world. So like different instruments. Like there's some from like Celtic culture. So like I'm trying to think of some interesting ones you might not know about. But they have like percussive instruments that are like you know uh, drums and stuff like that, or they'll have like, for example, like I like using a lute to add into some songs. Like the song I'm working on today is gonna have a lute doing some parts. I don't know, it just kind of I like the vibe it gives it. Like using some of those more like ancient and older instruments, it gives it a cool vibe. I like adding the epic elements like the strings and the orchestra and the choirs, but also like the older stuff is cool too. And like technology is just so great today. Like I can even add like Celtic voices, like literally plugins where people have recorded like um, Celtic singers, and it sounds like really cool. Like the song that's releasing today, I did an instrumental song that's releasing today called "When Legends Rise." You can go check it out on Spotify right now. You can also buy it off my shop for half price. Um, firefromheavenshop.com. But and I've kind of like added some of that Celtic voice with some of the melodies and the guitar to just I don't know, just adds a cool vibe. Not a lot of solo guitars do that. So I was trying to like incorporate everything I usually do in my normal songs into like this epic shred instrumental. That's what I'm calling it, shred instrumental shred. It's like the first one I've done, and I plan on doing a series of them. But there's things like that that are a lot of fun to add, or like sometimes I add like a harp. And again, like I don't play these instruments. I would love to get some of these and learn how to play them, and at some point I will when I can like afford that. But that's basically what I do afterwards. Like after I get the basic drums and guitars and leads, like everything most metal songs have, and then I go and add those elements to it as well. Anybody joining in the chat, feel free to leave a comment just talking about my songwriting process. If you want to talk about something else, that's fine. Just drinking coffee, getting fueled up for the day, and going to finish up a song I'm working on. I was even thinking about live streaming that. The thing is, you'll hear it, but the song doesn't drop till next Friday. So we'll see. But um, I'm trying to come up with some more ideas for like things to do on live videos, because I'm sure some of you would prefer to hear me play an instrument or something. It's just that my live setup is so uh, old, I guess. Like I need to just upgrade my computer. I even said this in yesterday's live, and say this every live. I feel like I just need to upgrade so I don't have issues, or at least invest in some things that'll make my computer function better, so that I can like live stream without issues. I can like do a live recording with, you know, like having my guitars and stuff, and then like sharing my screen so you can see me like in my digital audio workstation. You can see what I'm doing as I'm writing. I've done that a couple of times. Maybe I'll do that today. Um, then I can kind of stream it as a live video. But that's what I'll be working on today, and I'm gonna try and live stream it because I don't know, it's just a lot more fun. Anybody joining the chat, feel free to chat with me. Just talking about my songwriting process and some things I'm planning on doing for the day, and drink some coffee. I think the caffeine's flowing because I'm feeling a little energetic. Ready to make some freaking awesome metal. But I was thinking of experimenting with like a setup where I do like this. I need to figure out my mic situation because that needs fixed. Because yeah, but and just having the audio come out of the monitors, it wouldn't cause any issues because normally I'm doing a guitar like right into it. I probably wouldn't live stream doing vocals because then it wouldn't work. But that would work for guitar. So I may do that sometime. One other thing about my songwriting process, um, I shared some more like exclusive videos like on my Patreon about it, where I go more in depth. But basically, sometimes if I'm having writer's block, I'll I have a playlist of like some of my favorite bands and songs and stuff like that that I like to listen to. It's like a massive playlist, and I just pick a song, and then I will structure my own song inspired by that song. So it's not I don't copy the song. I just like use it to prompt my idea. And I usually just kind of take like what they do in the beginning, like how they start the song and maybe a little bit of like the first verse or something, and then I'll start my own song, and then I get ideas flowing, and then I don't really refer back to the song at all. But so yeah, that is one other thing I do to deal with writer's block. If any of you are writers in any area, if like you're writing a book or whatever, like, or if you're wanting to, well, it might be a little bit different. If you're writing a book, I've written a couple of books, so it would be a little bit different. But still, one of my main things, anytime, like, because I create a lot, like, create a lot of music, I'm working on my own books. I've written 2 books that are available, by the way, at firefromheavenshop.com. Um, they're fantasy books. But anytime like I'm writing, which is all the time, one of the main things is to be like consuming a lot and like consuming a lot of like what you're trying to create basically. So I'm making a lot of metal music. I listen to a lot of different metal artists and stuff like that, and like not just like passively listen, like sometimes I do, but like really like focus in like how are they structuring their songs and like thinking about it and then kind of gleaming those ideas for my own songwriting stuff. And the same can definitely go for books. It's just like it'll be a little bit different. For example, like I listen to a lot of fantasy books and fairy tales and stuff like that. There's also tons of free podcasts like on Spotify. There's ones that basically take like fairy tales and mythology um and make podcasts like little, I think maybe like 40-minute episodes about them, about the story. So and sometimes there's like part ones, part twos, but like there's the podcast called Mythology, and they're both by the same like podcast network. They're called Parcast. They have a lot of great podcasts. But there's the first one I discovered was Tales, where they share like old fairy tales, kind of like how they were originally told. Like a lot of the ones that we see like in Disney movies and stuff like that, or the ones that kind of inspired Disney movies, and then some you've never heard of. um, and then there's like mythology based on like different epics in mythology, whether from different cultures, whether it's like Greek or Celtic or whatever, um, or like the Norse. Um, there's lots of episodes and tons of content. So I listen to stuff like that to kind of inspire ideas for my stories as well. And I've consumed a lot of books over the years, storytelling books, personal development books, whatever, kind of all goes into my creation. So in order to create, yeah, like consume. At least that's how it is for me. Like that's where I get ideas. Like constantly consuming that stuff, like I can just pull that crap out of nowhere. Pull ideas out of nowhere because I'm just so absorbed in it. So yeah, that is kind of like one of the main things for my songwriting process that helps me. It's like I'm just so absorbed in like what I'm doing in life that I'm just constantly taking that stuff in, and so I have like just a massive data bank of ideas to pull from. And I got a list of questions here. Anybody joining in the live, feel free to leave a comment in the chat or a question. If you're not familiar with me, my name's AJ. I am the man behind the metal at Fire from Heaven, as you can see in the bottom of the screen. Um, on that side, there. But I'm a solo artist, make metal music. I write my own tales, my own stories. I've written 2 books, The Discourse with the Dragon and The Evil Wolf Chronicles. One of my books is based off of my album, The Evil Wolf Chronicles. I've written 5 albums. I'm not trying to brag here, just for anybody new watching, I'm letting you know if y'all know anything more about me. Um, but anyone who's joining in the live, I'd love to talk with you. And I do these just to chat with fans and hang out and get to know you. So love to hear from you. And if you're watching this afterwards, you can still feel free to leave a comment. I'll come back and see it. um, what is the most challenging part of crafting metal songs? Um, hmm. I think for me, um, damn, I'm not sure. Like I said, one of the big things writing music is that that'll really get you is writer's block, obviously, and I was just explaining how I deal with that. I'm just very absorbed in like what I want to do in life and making metal music. So I'm listening to a lot of metal music and I'm listening to a lot of other things that inspire my lyrics and stuff like that. Like I do metal music and but it's like more of like a death metal style, symphonic death metal, but they're like more fantasy inspired lyrics. So, both of those things I absorb all the time. I absorb lots of fantasy stories and lots of metal music. So, like, writer's block isn't that big of a deal for me. So I'm trying to think of what is the most challenging part of doing all this. Like, being solo artist, producing all this, it's it is it probably is like it's making myself show up every day, even on the days I don't feel like it. Like some days I just like I don't want to do this, but like I just suck it up and I tell myself to shut up and work. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to make metal music, man. So that's what I'm and but that is probably like the biggest thing is especially when I don't have an idea or I'm just not feeling the energy. I'm not feeling like inspired as I say or motivated. Like I make myself motivated. I make myself inspired because one, motivation, to be motivated, you got to have motives. Those are reasons for doing something. I have, a list of reasons for doing something that I refer to whenever I don't feel like doing this. So that's like a big thing is when you, I think that's probably a big thing for anyone who's trying to do anything, doing anything in life is showing up every day, especially if you're pursuing a dream, you just gotta learn to suck it up and show up every day. And having that, arming yourself with those reasons for doing it, that's going to help massively in your motivation, but sometimes you're still just not going to feel it as much. Those help. Um, and, obviously, like some people, you go through seasons in life, and some seasons you're just more focused on something else. Like there's been times where I wasn't so focused on my music, and I was focused on other parts of my life. Um, there could be times like that again. Like I'm of the mindset that I don't care what season I'm going through, I'm still going to write music just because that's what I'm good at and I want to get better at, and that's what my profession is, and that's like I always tell myself whenever I'm not feeling motivated, here in this studio is where I'm most valuable to the world around me because it's what I'm best at. That's why for a lot of my life I had to suck it up and keep working on it while I had to go to a day job and stuff like that, obviously to make money, to provide for my family's needs and to continue investing into building this. Like you gotta invest time and money a lot. And it takes a lot um, of that to build into something like this. But you just gotta suck it up and make yourself do it. Thanks for stopping by. That's alright if you can't hang out. We're just chilling and talking, but see you another time maybe. Um, but that's probably again that's one of the biggest things I got to deal with when writing is having to get over that barrier of like not feeling motivated. Like you're not subject to your feelings. You're not. Sometimes your feelings are wrong. I mean, sometimes they're telling you something, obviously, but sometimes you just gotta tell your mind, shut up and work, okay? We got stuff to do. So, least that's my mindset. Um, but then the other part is like inspiration, like you like inspired with ideas or you know for a song to write or whatever. Like most times when I sit down to write, I'm not inspired. Like I don't feel inspired. There are times when I do, and definitely take advantage of those times, and I try to get a lot done when I'm really feeling that inspiration. But the other times, like most of the time, inspiration is something that happens when you start working. Sit down, start writing, not really feeling it. You just kind of some days you don't get that. But most of the time, what I found is you make yourself just start doing it, the inspiration will come. Or sometimes taking a break from it, but being able to do it regardless of whether you're feeling inspired or not is like one of the other most important things for me to keep writing. Again, it's like you just gotta do it. It's what discipline is. It's like you're looking ahead, you want to get there, but right now, like you just aren't feeling it. But it's like, no, I want to get there, so I'm gonna do this now. Like you know, I want to make a full-time living off my music. Like I'm just using that as an example. So I'm going to do these things now, even though I don't feel like doing them, so that I can get there. It's like looking ahead and choosing what you want most over what you want now. So you're just gonna learn to put those aside. Those are that was the question I had for today about songwriting. But yeah, anybody joining in the live, feel free to chat with me, leave a comment, just hanging out, drinking some coffee, getting ready to make some metal. Usually do these for about 30 minutes. It's been 27. So anybody have any questions or anything or curious about anything? Feel free to join in. Um, I'll I just thought of something I could do real quick. Where is it? I'm gonna grab a link real quick that I can share with you. Excuse me. Where'd that go? Oh crap! Wrong link. While I'm doing this, anybody feel free to join in. Talk with me. Talk to me. I've been adding lots of sick merch designs to my shop. You should go and check it out. All right. And share this real quick. Members, over the summer, I produced a short 3-track EP that's exclusive to them. They've uh, they paid like the subscription is like $10 a month. It's like $9.97 for the tier where you get access to that. So they paid a lot, in order to get that. But for a limited time, I am sharing it with people in my shop, and it's not available publicly on streaming platforms either. But I'm going to send the link in the comments. You can check it out. It's only $5. Like I said, it's 3-track EP, so you are paying a little bit of that exclusive for that, a little bit of that price for the exclusive access to this. But digital download, check it out if you want to help support me. This is a great way you can help support me. Only $5 for some sick metal music, guaranteed to make you want to kick your demons in the butt. If it doesn't, your money back. No questions asked. And I'm serious about that, actually. Like, I'm not being salesy. Like, if it really doesn't make you want to do that, then I will refund you. But check it out, and I'll see you later. I'm going to send this. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here in a second. See you all later. Stay metal.